Hi everyone, my name is Shuo Chen. I am a former founder, now investing in founders and teaching founders at Berkeley and Stanford. I'm also a board member here at DECODE, the largest tech and entrepreneurship community that's co-hosted between Berkeley and Stanford. And I'm excited to answer one of our top founder questions this week on how to craft a story that investors will love. So without further ado, we'll jump right in. Our first tactic for today is how to structure the pitch as an emotional journey so that investors can feel a personal affinity to your story. Of course, at the end of the day, investors make decisions based on facts and emotions because it's not just about state of the world, it's also about why they personally should care about this particular problem being solved and why they want to be a part of your story. And so you want to really highlight the emotional aspects of the story and take them through potential stages of or different types of emotions that might get them to be really excited about what you're building. And so some of the potential emotions that you can tap into are amusement, for example. If you start with humor or wit, that's a natural part of your style. Or curiosity, which is intriguing investors with an unusual take about the state of the world. Or it could be surprise, which is revealing a very unexpected insight that you have about the industry you're building in. Or some type of awe, where you're showing massive potential in what you're building. Or, of course, you can tap into the greed of where you're inciting FOMO, the fear of missing out from investors to make them really want to be a part of your story. And the reason why you want to tap into these emotions and drive these emotions home in your deck is that at the end of the day, you want to make sure that investors are not skimming your deck like any other deck they've written, but they actually walk away really remembering what emotion they felt when they were reading through the story. And of course, you want to move everything else to the appendix. Again, your deck think of it as a movie trailer. You don't want to give away the entire movie. You just want to give away enough to intrigue people to want to learn more and want to talk to you more. And then that leads us into tactic 2, which is positioning your story where you are the underdog. You want to frame the dominant worldview as the antagonist. This is what most people believe in and why it's extremely reasonable that people believe that. But you want to contrast that with your underdog worldview, and that is the protagonist of the story. You want to highlight why this is a unique belief or there are hidden flaws in the dominant worldview that you're going to solve here. You want to explain how you were able to build this contrarian worldview of things and how you're going to prove that you're the right. And of course, you can build this into layers of narratives by explaining, the action that brought you here today. What are the events or facts that led you up to today? The emotion of how people feel about where things are, and then your view of your deep belief system of where things should be. And that brings us into tactic 3, which is you want to sell the future, not just today. Investors ultimately are buying into your future. So you want to convince them that they want to be a part of that future. And you have generally 3 big sections of here's the origin story of why this problem matters personally and how you stumbled across it and why you're so passionate about building. And then you want to tell the now, which is what you've built and achieved so far. And then you want to tell the future, which is how will today lead to this massive outcome for tomorrow. And because all startups by default fail, because that's really just the stats of what we're looking at, you want to emphasize not your likelihood of success, but really emphasize the size of this outcome if you were to win. You want to tell this outsized return story and why the investors should be so excited to work with you. And of course, great stories will help you close investors faster and hopefully give you more favorable terms as you're raising. So as we're thinking about these 3 tactics we covered today, it's really all about how to craft a story that investors can fall in love with and get excited by. And the goal of this is to not just emphasize the facts, which is what typical startup pitches focus on, but to structure the pitch as an emotional journey, to really position yourself as the underdog and help get the investor excited about supporting you to win, and of course about selling the future, not just today. So with that, if you want to learn more about other traps to avoid in this process or other tools that you can leverage, please feel free to check out the link below and read more in DECODE's newsletter called Tactical Tips. And with that, we're excited to cover more of your top questions in the coming weeks, so please feel free to send that our way either in the comments below or reach out to us on email and subscribe to the newsletter. Thanks so much for your time, and we look forward to seeing you at our next week's session. Take care. Bye.